Morning everybody, my name is Peter C. We're here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. And today we're going to be looking at a 2026 Winnebago EKKO 23B. Now the 23B is the Mercedes Sprinter model. There is a 22A, which is the Ford Transit, but this one is built on a Mercedes Sprinter 3500 all-wheel drive chassis. Has a 170-inch wheelbase, is 24 feet 8 inches long, 10 feet 11 inches high, 7 feet 3 inches wide. For the engine, we have a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel, which makes 208 horsepower and 332 foot-pounds of torque. You have a 9-speed automatic transmission and a 5,000-pound towing capacity. Now, this is a 2026. What's really cool about the 2026s is our tires are now standard BF Goodrich KO3 tires. So these come standard on the 2026. They're all-terrain tires to go along with your all-wheel drive. So very capable along with the lift for any kind of, off-road situation you'll find yourself in. So we'll head around the front. You can see this one was optioned with the full body selenite paint. So the entire box is going to match what's on the front of the cab. The default would just be a white box, but this one we have the full body paint. It's a really nice look. So we'll start off with looking at some of the exterior storage compartments here. Now, the standard would be a Gen combo where you would have a 320 amp hour lithium battery and a 2800 watt propane generator. Because this one was optioned as double lithium, you get rid of the generator. You don't have a generator on this one, and you have basically double the lithium capacity. So instead of 320 amp hours, you'll have one single 630 amp hour lithium battery. What's really neat about these batteries, these are Lithionics lithium batteries. And Jody, I'm not sure if you can see here at the top, but there's actually a QR code on these that you can scan, and you can pair these to your phone. You can also pair them via Bluetooth. So there is a Lithionics app, and you'll see right here, hopefully the camera can see this, everything that you can monitor on this battery. So you'll see we have 53% battery capacity. It's going to show the voltage, your current draw, your battery temperature, your battery management system temperature, and the estimated time remaining based on your current draw. So what's really valuable about that is if you're in a boondocking situation where you're just camping, you're not trying to run your, you don't have a generator obviously, so you're just running off battery power, you'll be able to see in real time how long you can go based off exactly what you have running. So if that's the vent fans and the lights, if that's the vent fans and the AC, whatever you have going, you'll be able to see in real time a very good estimate as to how long you can run like that. So down in this compartment, this is actually going to be just a gray water pump. So your shower water, your gray water, is going to come down into here. This pump senses when there is water there, and only when there's water there will it kick on and then pump it into the gray tank. And as far as water capacities, this coach has a 50-gallon freshwater capacity and a 40-gallon gray water capacity. For black water, we don't have a traditional black water tank. We have a cassette toilet. So what this is it's a little unit you just pull out like this. It's actually a suitcase, so you can completely take it out and wheel it around on wheels. But all you got to do to empty this is swivel this over, unscrew it, and you can empty this at any rest stop, any pit toilet, anywhere you can find. Just offers a lot of flexibility versus a traditional black tank. And the nice thing about these as well is you can get extras of them. These don't cost a lot of money, so if you don't want to deal with emptying them on a long trip, you can grab one or two extra and just swap them out as needed. Down in this compartment, this is traditionally where your generator would be, but since there is no generator on this, you just gain a nice storage compartment here. So a little bit of additional storage. Back here, we're going to have the smart meter for your 30 amp shore power. Now, these are called smart meters because this will light up green if your power is good. If there's anything wrong with your power source that could potentially damage the electrical systems, this will light up red and tell you, make sure you unplug it before you damage something. Right here is your solar expansion port, so you could add more solar to this if desired. Get a suitcase solar or something that you can open up. This does come standard with 530 watts of solar on the roof, so there is plenty of solar even without the solar expansion. Right here is going to be your wet bay. So you'll have a water pump switch here. You'll have a switch for your little porch light. So if you need to do something out here at night, the gravity fills at the top. This is gonna be a kind of shower hookup. If you wanna take an outdoor shower, maybe wash off your dogs. You do have hot and cold water here. So all your valves, and then your gray water tank drain is down below. You actually have little towel hooks on these as well. So again, if you wanna take like an outdoor shower, you have somewhere to hang up your towels or whatever you need. And then in this final compartment, this is one of the things that kind of makes an EKKO an EKKO. This is our rear gear garage. So in total, on the 23B EKKO, you have 65 cubic feet of exterior storage space, which is really best in class for something this size. Now, what's really nice about all these compartments is you can see how thick these doors are. Every single one of these is very, very well insulated, and they also have heat ducts to them. So back here in the garage, right here, we have a heat duct. So these are fully prepared for all seasons camping. Nothing you put in this garage is going to freeze. You don't have to worry about anything like that. On both of the doors of this garage, we have what are called molly panels. These are just really nice to be able to keep your gear kind of organized when it's back here. So what you can do is just get some carabiner clips and just clip things on here. Bike helmets, ropes, hiking gear, hammocks, you know, whatever you take with you on your adventures. It's a nice way to just keep things organized versus just kind of tossing it in the back of the garage. Now, this garage has 3 doors all the way around. So your rear door here is going to open up on gas struts, which, again, nice thing about that is if you need to stand under here in the rain and get something out of your garage, it's going to keep the rain off you, keep you from getting too wet. And then real quick, before we head all the way around, we'll take a look at the awning we have out here. So this is an option that this one includes. This is called a batwing awning. So it wraps around basically 270 degrees all the way around the edge of the coach. Provides, you know, a ton of shade, keeps you out of the rain when you're getting in your garage. It's just a really nice thing to have if you're camping and you want to have some, you know, additional options for shade. There is tie downs at both corners, here and there. So if you're in an area where you're kind of worried about winds, you can put some stakes on the ground and tie this down so you don't have to worry about your awning blowing away on you. And then we'll go ahead and show you the other side through our garage here. So this is made to actually be able to fit 2 bikes in there side by side. If you are someone that likes to travel with e-bikes, we have 110 hookups on both sides back here. So you can plug in your e-bikes and charge them while you're driving. You'll have L-tracks on both sides of this in the garage. So any bikes you put down there or gear, containers, whatever you want to put back here, you'll be able to tie down so it's not gonna, you know, be flopping around in the back of your motorhome. Now, this next compartment is where our propane is stored. So what is really cool about an EKKO is, unlike, you know, a lot of Class Cs where you have to go to a truck stop or a campground or something and have them put a hose in to fill up your propane tanks, you can swap these out the same way you would your, you know, backyard grill. So you could go to any Home Depot, Walmart, anywhere like that and just swap these tanks out really easily. Or you could also bring additional tanks and put them in your garage, and that's just going to get you even more, you know, even more extended stay wherever you're going. And one important thing about this compartment, this is not vented anywhere to the cab. It is vented down below, so there is no way for this propane to leak back into the cab. Down here, you have a hookup that will draw off these propane tanks. So if you want to bring a grill or anything with you that will draw off your propane tanks, you can just put a little quick connect hose in right there. Up above in this compartment is going to be your Truma AquaGo. So that is for your continuous hot water. And coming back down this way, we'll have 2 more 110 hookups. So anything you want to, you know, bring with you and plug in outside. If you want to bring your induction burner outside and do your cooking outside on a little portable table, you have a place to plug it in right there under your awning to do so. And then this final compartment, just going to be another storage compartment. Plenty of room to, you know, put any kind of gear in here. And again, this is heated, so nothing you put in there is going to freeze. And then you can see we have our Carefree awning out as well right now with the LED lights across the side. So make some nice lighting for wherever you're camping. All right, so we'll go ahead and head on inside. But before we do, one thing I want to show you that I really like about the 23B is your campsite door is actually on the remote key fob. So if I unlock this, you can actually see it'll lock the door. So you can unlock and lock all 3 doors on this coach with your key fob. A lot of Class Cs, you have to do this door separately. So I think it's a nice detail that they tie that into everything else. You have a screen door here as well. And for those of you that travel with pets, this bottom part is kind of like a sort of a wire fence. So it's not mesh. You're not gonna have to worry about your pets scratching their way through this. This is very durable. So there's not gonna be any damage from your dogs if you have to leave them in your camper for some reason. So heading inside, I'll point out on the wall here real quick. These are just gonna be all your controls. Over here is your Carefree awning control. Just one touch retract, one touch extend, and your LED lights. This is your coach battery. So if you flip this off, it'll completely kill everything in the coach. This is your step override switch. So your step is automatic, but if you want it to just stay out when you close the door, you just turn this off. There's all your light switches right here, and then your 2 110 hookups right there. Now, we'll head back into the bedroom first, and then we'll work our way towards the front. So this is sort of like a twin bed configuration, but this will actually turn into a king bed. All you have to do is flip this piece over and drop it right in there like that. So at that point, you can sleep east to west back here, and this is about the dimensions of a king bed. But if you don't want to do it like that, you have 2 twin beds, and this will serve as kind of a nightstand. So this is hard plastic on the top. You have cup holders here. So if you want to sit back here and eat, or sit back here with your drinks, you have somewhere to set them that you're not going to have to worry about it getting spilled. All the way in the back, we have storage compartments overhead on either side. Now both of these will have 110 hookups in here on the side wall, as well as USB-A and USB-C and a cigarette outlet. You have the same thing on the front as well, your USB-A and C and your 110s, and then you'll have a little port that'll drop through here. So if you want to plug in your phone cords here and drop them down to be able to charge them at night, you can do that. These are your reading lights. Now I like how these are a blue light as well as a lamp light. So if you're someone that wants to stay up at night and read while your partner's going to bed, you can just turn on your blue light and you're not going to bother anybody that's with you. Now our windows back here. The EKKO has really nice windows all throughout. So these are what's called cassette shades. So we have a day shade right there, and then we have a night shade. So you can completely black out your bedroom and not have to worry about any light when you're camping. And then these windows will open all the way out. So you can get plenty of airflow through here. If you want to, you can also lock them in sort of an intermediate position. So you'll see right here in the middle, we can lock it, and we'll still have about a 1/2 inch air gap. So you'll still get airflow through back here. You can get a nice cross breeze without having to worry about water or anything getting in here. And then same thing on the other side, your same cassette windows. This is actually your emergency exit. Now, on the back wall right there is where your heat duct is going to be. Now this is ducted heat throughout the coach, so you'll see a few others in the kitchen and in the living area. Ducted AC as well, so it's a 13.5K BTU AC unit. What's really important about it being ducted is you can close them and focus it wherever you need to. So you'll have 2 AC vents back here, and then I believe 3 more in the front living area. So if you're camping in a hot climate and you need to run your AC at night, close all your AC vents other than what's in the bedroom. You can close this curtain right in front of us here and just keep as much of the cold air back here in the bedroom with you as possible. For your storage, we'll have storage drawers on either side. So I have one right there, and we have another one right here. And then you'll have sort of your wardrobe down below. So both of these will have a little curtain rod in the back where, you know, if you need to hang anything that you don't want to get wrinkled, you can. And then one more thing we'll show you with the mattresses here. So these mattresses are on what's called a Frawley system. So this replaces traditional springs, just gives you a little bit more support underneath here. Also keeps the mattress from getting too hot because you have airflow completely under the bed. And both of these will lift completely up, so you can also top load your storage compartments. And on this side, this isn't on the other side, only this side, you'll have a little kind of hidden storage compartment back in here. Good place to put any of your valuables that you might bring along when you're camping. So you don't have to worry about anybody, you know, getting into your coach. They likely would not find that. All right, so we'll head up. We'll go over the controls here real quickly. So this is just your furnace for your Truma system. So you'll have your coach heat on here, your hot water on here, and then your fan speed on there. And these are just your light switches. You have one little night light down there. So if you need to get out of bed and use the bathroom, you can flip that on without bothering anybody. Now going into the bathroom, the EKKOs have one of the coolest bathrooms. So this is sort of a wet bath, but not really in the traditional sense. So right now we have it set up where you can access the toilet. You'll have one little cabinet up at the top, just a little option for storage. But if you want to take a shower, what you're going to do is just grab this wall right here and pull this over, and now this is your shower. This is actually pretty roomy as well. I'm about 6 foot. I have plenty of room to stand in here. There's still several inches above my head, so you don't have to worry about, you know, feeling cramped in here. This is your shower curtain, so wrap that all the way around. Make sure all your water is going to stay in here. You're not going to get anything else in the coach wet. And then your shower head, kind of a neat thing. You do have like an on and off switch on your shower head. So anytime you're camping, you want to do everything you can to conserve water, especially if you're off grid. So when you're taking a shower, you know, you can get wet, lather up, and then turn it off. Conserve your water so you don't have to keep it running, or you don't have to go find the water pump. You just have an easy spot to kill the water right there. Now, going into the kitchen, we'll have one storage compartment up here. You can move these shelves around wherever you want to, or you could take them out completely. And you also have a 110 hookup up there at the top. So if you wanted to bring a coffee maker with you, this would be a good spot to just leave it in this compartment and plug it in. You have a dedicated spot just for that. Up above, you have a little bit of storage up here. So pots, pans, cutting boards, anything you need to bring with you to cook. Convection microwave right here. You have a nice window behind your sink too. So if you're cooking and you want to kind of keep the smells out, you can just open, I'm not sure why that one doesn't want to open, but you can completely open that window back there and just, you know, vent all of the air out of here. You have a nice deep stainless steel sink and your sprayer. For your storage, this top drawer is going to house your induction burner. So the Transit EKKO will have a 2-burner propane stove. The 23B EKKO, which is the one we're in, it's the Sprinter EKKO, utilizes this induction burner. So you only have one burner. You could buy an additional one, or you could buy a 2-burner induction cooktop. Very easy to switch out. This just plugs into any 110 outlet, so you can completely lift this out of here. You could put it on the countertop, you could put it outside and cook, you know, kind of whatever your heart desires. We have 2 more storage drawers right here. And then this part will actually work as sort of a countertop extension. So when you take this out, you can drop that piece of wood in here in the top, and then this will just become a little bit more prep space. You know, if you're sitting here cooking, this is obviously a relatively small sink, so any more space you get, the better. Now down below, you have another 110 hookup right here, so you can hook up your induction burner to that. your water pump switch right there, and then a little bit more storage under the sink. So another good spot for pots, pans, any meal prep things you need to bring with you. All right, and then finally in the kitchen, we have the refrigerator. It's a pretty decent sized refrigerator, especially for something this size. And you do have a freezer up at the top, which is pretty good size with your freezer as well. You could fit, 2 or 3 pints of ice cream in there, some meat, whatever you need to bring with you on your camping trips. And this is a compressor-driven refrigerator, so it's not going to be affected if you're, a little bit off kilter like a regular household refrigerator would be. You're not going to have to worry about that. Now, above, this is our storage compartment, and this is all our controls. So right here is your solar charge controller. On here is your fresh and gray tank gauges. So you can see right now we're at 0%. There's no fresh or gray water in this. This is going to show the current temperature in here, and then you can turn on your AC through here or your fan. We have both of those off right now. And then power is just going to show what your chassis battery is at. Right here, this is your inverter. Just turn this off or on. Right now we have it on because we don't have the AC or anything running. Up above, you have some storage. Now, right now we have the manuals in here, but you can see this is a nice deep storage compartment. You have more 110 hookups at the back, USB-A and USB-C. And if you can see that black port up there at the top, that's actually a roof access port they put in here. So if you want to install Starlink or Starlink Mini or something, it's really easy to do it yourself through that port. Okay, so now we'll move up into more of the living area. So this living area is really kind of configurable to whatever you want. Right now we have it set up as sort of the opposing sofas with the table in here. And this is a really nice table. Like, I love this thing. It'll swivel whatever direction you want to go with it. Very, very customizable. And this does have the manufacturer plastic on it right now. That's why it looks a little dirty. Once that's taken off, this will just be a matte black. It's not going to be shiny at all. Now, when you want to get rid of this table and you want to turn this into your front-facing seats, all you have to do is lift this table up, and I'll go stow this. And we'll pull this bar out. Now this will also convert into a twin bed if you wanted to. You'll see these pieces of wood on either side. Your tabletop will actually drop down into there. You'll reorient all your cushions and you'll have a twin bed that is as wide as this cushion is and as long as the coach. So really long, good enough to sleep one person. One adult could sleep there very comfortably. Now this side of the chair has a lap belt, so you can seat one there. This side is the part that we'll kind of configure. So again, right now, this is made into sort of the opposing sofas, but if you want to have this set up for driving, you're going to move this cushion across. We'll take these cushions out. And then this is another table. So this just hinges up and snaps in place like that. You have a little extension there as well. So now this side is a 3-point harness. So this will be your forward-facing seat. Just, the best spot for your passenger, probably the most comfortable spot. Or if you're someone who's working on the road, this is a really comfortable kind of home office. So, you can sit here, work on your laptop, do whatever you need. And again, same windows you see everywhere else. You have these blackout shades and your day shades. Every single window in the house portion of this coach is going to be like that. Up above, we have another storage compartment here. This has this nice sturdy steel strap supporting it. So I believe the capacity of this cabinet, Winnebago says, is like 120 pounds. So you can actually fit a lot of gear in here and not have to worry too much about the weight, just because this is very well reinforced. Up on the wall right here, you have same thing you see everywhere else, USB-A, USB-C hookup, and your 110s. So many places to be able to charge any of your devices that you need to in this. Up above also, we'll point out, we do have a vent fan here. We'll go ahead and turn that on for us. So when you don't want to run your AC, vent fans are fantastic because all your hot air is going to rise. So you just pull out all that hot air from the roof, open your windows, and you'll get plenty of airflow through here. Now, actually we'll go over the other side real quick. This is our other storage compartment. And then on either side, you do have these little button lights that aren't on the same switches as everywhere else. So you can just turn those off or on the button that's on them. And again, cassette windows like everywhere else. Your 110 hookup, USB-A and USB-C on this side as well. So we'll move up into the cab now. On both sides of the cab, you have pretty deep storage compartments right here. And this side actually has a cable hookup as well as an HDMI hookup for your TV. So if you wanted to bring like a PlayStation, Blu-ray, DVD player, anything like that, you can hook it up right there and it'll go directly into your TV here. And you have a TV and a soundbar. Other side is going to be the same storage compartment, but this one's actually holding your insulated curtain. So one of the really cool things Winnebago does with the EKKO that just makes it even more prepared for 4 seasons, you'll notice these button clips all the way around. So this insulated curtain is made to clip in and completely isolate the cab. So your windows throughout the house portion of this coach are double pane acrylic. They're very, very well insulated, so you're not going to lose a lot of heat or AC through them when you're camping. Your front windows are from Mercedes. They're single pane glass, so they're not going to be just quite as insulated. So whatever you can do to close this off while you're camping is just going to extend your longevity with your heating and your cooling as best you can. Now heading up into the cab, you have your 360-degree seats, so these will spin completely around so they can kind of become part of the house. We have this one spun around right now. These are memory setting seats. You'll actually have 3 memory settings. That means there's a button on the door that you push and it'll automatically move that chair into whatever setting you've programmed for it. Now, what's really nice about that is you can do a his setting, a her setting, so 2 individuals can have their own setting. And that third one, I always tell people, set that for the orientation you have to put it in to spin it around. Because in order to spin these chairs around, you have to scoot them way forward and lean them up. So if you just set that third setting, so all you do is hit a button and it'll do it itself, it'll just make your life a little bit easier. And these seats are heated as well as powered. So the power is on the door for leaning it and sliding it forward. All the controls are on the door. Now we'll go ahead and start it so we can look at some of the cab features real quick. So up above we have a digital rear view camera. This will replace your rear view mirror since obviously you wouldn't be able to have a rear view mirror in here. And then on the nav is where your backup camera is going to be. So if we put it in reverse, you can see our backup camera. Obviously right now that's looking at the Batwing awning. This being the 2026 versus the 2025, we actually have a heated steering wheel in the EKKO now. So there's a switch down here on the side of the steering column that you just switch on or off for the steering wheel heat. And then some couple cool driving features on here I'll show you real quick. So this has adaptive cruise control and active lane assist. But what's nice about it is it's very easy to switch on and off. So when we go in here and we just go to settings, I'll show you some of the things we can do here. If we go to driving, that's your downhill speed regulation. You can toggle this on or off as you want to. And collision avoidance. So active brake assist. If somebody cuts you off, it's going to brake for you. Lane keeping assist. If you're kind of swaying out of your lane or you get hit by a crosswind or something on the highway, it'll correct you a little bit and keep you in the lane. But blind spot assist as well. So your mirrors, and it's going to beep if somebody's passing you in your blind spot. But all of this, you can toggle this on or off as you want to. So I just think that's a really nice feature. So you don't have to have that if you don't want to. And then this is traffic sign assist is actually pretty cool. It'll show you, this camera down here in the front will actually read traffic signs as you're passing. So if you're going through a work zone or somewhere that has a reduced speed limit, if you're using a navigation system, it's going to tell you whatever it thinks that speed limit should be. This will actually read it and tell you what the adjusted speed limit is. So it's not going to, Just makes it a little bit easier not to get yourself caught speeding. All right, so that should pretty much wrap it up for us here today. My name's Peter C. Again, if you have any questions about this coach, you want questions about dimensions, you want us to measure something for you, any more information you want on this whatsoever, please reach out to me. My phone number is 719-799-8357. Feel free to call or text me with any questions that you have. But that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for watching our video.